The other improvement I've made is I've added a Coulomb meter. This is a cheap Chinese Coulomb meter, but it works very well. It's actually quite accurate. I'll put the link to the Alibaba listing. I did want the Victron battery monitor, the BMV700 I think it is, or 702. A couple of $100, $300 or something. No, can't really justify that, sorry. But I'm very happy with this one. It does everything I need it to do. I really don't need any more information than what this shows. This is the second one that I've had. The first one was a 30 amp model, which was cheaper. It did have a tiny shunt on it. I actually blew that shunt. I then replaced it with a normal 50 amp shunt, which was fine for what I'm doing. It probably should have been bigger, but I was able to really recalibrate the the meter to work with the 50 amp shunt, and it was very accurate. The only thing was the software on the meter itself stopped at about 43 amps, so it would occasionally freeze. The other issue that it had, it was calibrated for lead acid batteries, so it wasn't designed to run with lithium. So what would happen is, when you had quite a deep discharge, say down to 50%, which I might have got after a couple of days rain, something like that, or if I just had the aircon going, it might get down to 50%, and when it's calculating the amps coming back in, the amp hours were not going high as they should be, because it was expecting lead acid, so it was expecting poor charge efficiency, and it wasn't expecting lithium charge efficiency. So what would happen is it would get back to charge voltage, and it would be stuck at say 95%. So, but this is a new model. This is a 100 amp model. It does do the 100 amps, it doesn't stop at 43. And it's also got a couple of new features. So one of them is that the menu is a lot easier to get into. The previous model, you had to press all three buttons at once and connect the connector into the back, which is pretty much impossible. One person definitely cannot do it. It's a struggle for two people. So this is a big improvement. Get back. So this has a couple of settings which I think are there for lithium batteries. So it's got a full voltage trigger there. So when your battery voltage gets to, like mine's set at 58, when it gets to 58, regardless of how many amp hours it's calculated, it will automatically jump to 200. I haven't had a deep discharge yet, so that hasn't been a factor for me yet. It also had another one down at, it says 0 volts, and I had that set at 40. So what that means is that I think it will calibrate that range for the amp hour. So it should, in theory, as it gets down in voltage near 40, it should show near 0 amp hours. At least I think that's how that's supposed to work. But these are a very, very good meter. They're very cheap, accurate, very easy to install. This data that it's showing right now should be adequate for most people. It's very easy to install. It's just quite a large shunt there, 100 amp. That's just connected to your negative, and then you've got a negative going out to everything else. And then just here there's just a positive that goes over to your positive end, which in my case is 48 volts. So very easy, and then it just plugs in there, and then there's another plug at the back there. So I'll put the link in the description. Everyone should have one.